Alrighty guys, how's it going today? So here's another quickie video. Of course it's raining out. It's supposed to be raining for a couple of days, and then I think it's supposed to actually kind of start snowing a little bit here and there, so we might get some snow. But what I got here in my pocket is there's this, which we're gonna read. And then I forgot I had these little stupid things. These were actually for my little threaded rod that I got for the other antenna that I had up there. I was trying to make some ground planes, and I guess I forgot these are in my pocket. So I guess we'll just whip them in here. I can get it off, probably freaking not. Can't do nothing one-handed. Isn't that a shocker? So, well, yeah. So what's going on today is, well, it's more bullshit, but not much you can do about it because everyone's fucking retarded. Anyways, they had about 15 million fucking semi-trucks today. That's nothing new, of course. But it was so bad, I think, today that they were literally parking trucks where they shouldn't be. They had one truck in front of my house, which is not acceptable in my books. Which is because the siren's going off. Isn't that lovely? So, but yeah, they had quite a few trucks here. They had one there next to this guy's property, two in front of this guy's house, and then they had another two that were down there a little ways, and then, but I guess whoever decided to unload or whatever, they must have been in some kind of a hurry or something. I don't know what the deal was, but they parked 4 or 5 pickup trucks on the side of the road that goes north or whatever, the road that I take to go to the farm all the time, and they decided to just leave them there. Which I guess, you know, is stupid in a way, but what are you going to do, because everyone's stupid around here. A semi-truck decided to pull in the town around 4 o'clock-ish, somewhere around in there, and I don't know what he was... I guess he was thinking about going down there, but then for some odd reason he didn't do that, and he decided to back up and then park in front of my house. Which is something I don't appreciate. Now, I don't give a fuck if it was within hours, you know, of trucks being here. It's the point that when you're blocking a major highway, a public road yet, I don't give a fuck if cars can go around. You shouldn't be blocking a road anyway, regardless, because it's a public road. You're not supposed to be blocking public roads. And you're idling in front of a house of a guy that does not like idling fucking trucks. And this truck wasn't even, he was doing more of like a high idle, because he needs to, you know, the truck's hydraulics to do whatever he's got to fucking do all the time. Okay, well, that's not acceptable in front of my house. I don't give a fuck who the hell you are. If you're going to do that kind of bullshit, take it over there then. Let these fucking neighbors deal with it then. I ain't dealing with it. That's bullshit. They need to move that company somewhere else. It's the bottom line. They need to move it somewhere else. They got this guy's fucking yard buried with fucking cars. They still have trucks coming in right after another, unloading them. I hardly even see any leaving, so where the hell they're putting them all, I don't know. So, but, you know, and another thing is too, is that the truckers were always running over my yard. And it took, these motherfuckers here that are running this freaking company, don't even know what the hell they're doing. They put some signs up now. Okay, well, they're only 4 feet off the fucking ground. No truckers are going to read them because they're too low. You know, they're not in place where they should be, where I think they ought to be. They need to be sticking way the hell out and up high where truckers can see them. You know. But I figured that probably wasn't going to stop them anyway. So I went and got some for now, I got some 6-foot tall fence posts, and I put some reflective tape on them. And, you know, I don't know if that's going to stop them or not. But the thing is, if they should hit them, private property, you just damage private property, and you damage private fencing. You know, the trucker can't get mad at me because I put him there. I put him there for a damn reason, was so you motherfuckers would stay off my yard and quit smashing it. You know, so I haven't seen a trucker try to go down this road yet. There was one that was thinking about it, but I guess he was thinking about it, but then I guess he made a phone call, I guess, to one of these people here, and they came out and met him. So, and they told him to continue this way and then turn there. So, I guess he was thinking about turning down this road because of his GPS was probably telling him that. They need to fix their GPS systems for one thing. So, you know, and these truckers should be told what to do. I mean, a dispatcher should be telling them. They should be getting a piece of paper telling them what routes to take. How do you just randomly get truckers in here? And, you know, I mean, you have to know them. You're just not going to send some random trucker in to pick up a bunch of freaking random cars. I mean, how do you not know they're thieves? You know, they're going to just take a big load of cars and part them out, you know. That happens. Cars do get stolen and they get parted out. They get stripped right down to the framing and the parts get sold. That can happen. So, not sure if it happens all the time, but it happens. So, but the thing that kind of pissed me off today was the point that this trucker sat in front of my house, and then he pulled his ramps off, and then for whatever fucking reason he decided to drag his damn ramps 15 feet ahead, like I don't know what the hell the point of that was, but he was fucking letting them grind on the road. I didn't necessarily fucking do it in front of my house yet. I don't care if it is within hours. I don't want to listen to this bullshit. I don't want to. I don't want to at all. So, but yeah, so I should not, see the thing is, I should not have to give up any of my rights for these motherfuckers. I should have the right to, you know, to privacy. I should have the right, you know, to no fucking noise of extreme, you know. My house was literally shaking. Person pounding, what the hell was that all about? I don't know, mother must be hanging something up. So, I should not have to deal with any noise, okay? That's bad enough that I got a school in front of my house yet. You know, that's bad enough. I don't need to hear 18-wheelers sitting there idling, high idling, grinding ramps on the damn pavement. You know, my house was shaking. And I put on my headphones, you know, because I was just trying them out. I wanted to try them out on something, and so I watched a couple of YouTube videos with them, and all I could hear in the background when I had the headphones on was a truck. I could hear my windows vibrating. You know, I could hear the littlest things I have sitting on my computer desk and everything. I could hear all that just kind of just barely moving. You know, my windows in my house are not soundproof. This is not a mansion that's got 10-inch freaking concrete walls, okay? I don't have that. I don't need a truck sitting in front of my house idling, pissing me off, you know, and then yet blocking a public fucking road, okay? You know, I mean, it's stupid. If they're gonna unload their trucks or whatever, do it over there where it says. There ain't no sign here that says, oh, hey, you can sit here and park and freaking load. All their loading shit's down there. They have signs placed, you know, before my place and after my place saying, turn here. Don't turn here. You'll get fined. There's a sign that's right here that says, you turn here, you get fined. A sign over there says, trucks turn this way. And then it's got an arrow pointing in the direction they gotta turn. So, you know, they have these things put here now, but, you know, like I said, they're not high enough. They need to be way the hell up. They need to be sticking out way more. So what if they get in the way of the road plow guy? He can plow the fucking snow the other direction. It ain't gonna hurt him. So, cry me a fucking river. I don't care. I put those posts there, they're staying there. I have the right to put them there. It's my property. So, road plow guy don't like it. He can plow it in the neighbor's ditch then. So, but the thing is that I shouldn't have to give up, any of my kind of rights, to have to deal with a truck sitting here in front of my house on a public road, blocking a public road, and making noise and causing my house to vibrate. Okay? If he was any closer to my house would probably just fall apart because he's shaking it that bad. I shouldn't have to put up with that shit. I shouldn't have to. I don't give a fuck if this company is what's keeping this town afloat. This town was here for a lot of years without this company, and this town survived. So, I don't give a fuck. So, but yeah, I got a thing in the mail just now. Someone decided to drive up to my mailbox. I seen it on my security camera. Someone in a kind of like a gray blazer kind of looking thing. And they just threw this in there. Well, it's all crumpled to crap because it's all wet because mother had it in her pocket. So, but it just says here, council meeting. The date of when that'll start is December 1st, 2016 at 7 p.m. at the school, right across the street from my house. This is got to do with the trucks. And two guests from the blah 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 county zoning whatever will be here to answer any questions we may have on their crap. So within property, see the thing is here, they got these trucks from the letter says here from residential to commercial. I mean, they got commercial trucks coming into residential property basically because they're running over my property. So, and the west side of town, well, that's this side. Because the east side's over that way. So, blah, 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 it says regarding this matter also gives their residents an opportunity to ask any questions they may have. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, no one gives a fuck about that. So, I'm thinking about going. So, see the thing is here, it says here, the city council, I can't pronounce that word very well, but just go with it, would like to hear from the residents regarding this matter in an effort to better service the community. So what this has got to do with the trucks, because it says the guy's name, wherever the hell it said that now, yeah, up here. This has got to do with the trucking company. I'm not going to say his name just because, but it's got to do with the trucks. Okay, because I'm sure I'm not the only motherfucker that's been complaining about big rigs coming into town even after dark or after hours. I mean, that hasn't happened recently, but it's the point that they're doing a lot of things wrong and no one's correcting it and no one gives a fuck. Well, the thing is, here in this town is that there are no more or very little of normal people like me. It's mostly a clan that lives here now. Okay, I mean they all it's, I don't know, well, they dress the same pretty much. They believe in the same God and whatever, It's nothing, they're not like murderers, they're, I guess, religious people, whatever it is. Okay, I ain't got a problem with that. I could care less about that. It's the point that there's more of them people living here in this town than there is of us. But see, the thing is, these people here are going to disagree with me when I go there. If I do get to go there, they're going to say, oh, well, we don't ever get complaints and blah, blah, blah. We don't ever hear that. Well, the thing is, all you people that are in this clan, and I'm not going to say what kind of clan it is, just respect for them, they all live on the west side of town, or they live in North Dakota. They don't live on the west side of town. The closest they ever get to being on this side of town is their school. And they're here from like 7 a.m. whenever school starts to like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Some days they'll get to go home early. So how they get to do that, I don't know, but whatever. So I ain't going to care. It's not my school, and I'm not going to care about it. The thing is that they really shouldn't be speaking because they don't live on this side of the town. They don't hear all the bullshit that goes on this side of town. I always have to call the owners of the company every time that a trucker is breaking the law or doing something wrong, or they shouldn't be here at a certain time, or they ran over my property. You know how many times I've called the owners over the years? A lot. Okay? It's ridiculous. I should not have to call the owner of a company and say, hey, I got problems with your truckers running over my yard or being here after hours. I don't give a fuck if the truckers are on some kind of a time schedule. I don't give a shit about that. You're not coming in this town after hours. We do have a time limit for noise, and that's 10 o'clock. You can't be here. And truckers should kind of know that. They should be told that. So when a trucker pulls in at the truck stop at 9 o'clock at night, and he goes to the truck stop and maybe takes a 30-minute break, he wants to get some food and some coffee put in him. Okay, well, it's 9:30. You shouldn't be coming into town even at 9:30 because you're going to be here for an hour, if not longer, to load. And I've seen some truckers that are here all day. It's the same trucker, too. He's been here. He came in here at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. He doesn't leave until almost 3. And it takes him all day to load. I think that he's just doing a lot of power napping. He probably loads one car, and he goes right back to bed. He just takes his time. That is bullshit. They need to load really fast, chain up, make sure their loads are legal, and get the hell out of Dodge. Get the hell out of this town. So, but the thing is to see that with these people here, and I know that they're the ones that sent this stupid letter, they're gonna disagree with me, and they're gonna be like, well, we don't get calls and complaints. Well, you've already talked to some people around here apparently, and they're okay with it. Okay? Apparently they talked to the ex-mayor, the guy, when he was mayor. Apparently he has no problem with it. Well, of course he's got no fucking problem with it because he's renting some of his ground out to these motherfuckers so they can park their cars on it. So he's renting some of his ground out. And I don't know if this guy's renting it out or if they bought this guy's property, but they got him stacked right up to his fucking house. And he ain't gonna give a fuck because he's not here. And then the people that live further down west, which is only a couple fucking blocks, you can't go any further than that. Those people are further in there. They have other houses surrounding them to block out noise. They got trees blocking out noise. So they're probably not hearing it as much. So they probably don't give a fuck. But it's me that gives a fuck, and it's probably the guy in front of me, or behind me, however you want to look at it, that probably gives a shit too because he works some fucked up hours. Some days I think he sleeps during the day because he works during the night. Well, hell, how can you sleep when you got, 18-wheelers roaring into town? Which, you can't help that because that's the way it is, but, he ain't going to change his schedule either. So, but, what I'm trying to say is that there's only possibly 2 people here that probably give any little bit of a fuck about this, this is, for me, this is pissing me off because they're not respecting me, they're not respecting any of my wishes, they're not respecting any of my rights. They think they can just do whatever the hell they want, So, I have rights, and I have the right to not listen to this bullshit. I should not have to fucking move because you want to have all these truckers come into town. If I wasn't living here, and they bought this house, there'd be cars all over this. You damn well know that. So, it's the point that there's not going to be very many people complaining about it. But for the 1 or 2 that are complaining about it, have a little bit of respect for them. And realize what they're saying and understand them. How would you like it if I came to your house drove up and down your road all the time with an 18-wheeler. And then come in at 10 o'clock at night, drive around your house 10 million times. I think you'd get a little bit ticked off. Okay? You know, I get a little bit pissed off. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't appreciate a trucker sitting in front of my house, idling, high idling, scraping ramps, banging chains. You know, there's no sense to that. They're supposed to be over there loading, not in front of my house. That's just disrespectful. I don't care if it is within hours. I don't give a fuck about that. For a guy like me, I don't need to hear that shit. This town was supposed to be a quiet little town, not a fucking city. Okay? You know, they simply don't give a shit. So no matter what, I can go to this meeting December 1st and put my 2 cents in, but my 2 cents would just be, you know, grain size compared to what everyone else's. They would just forget what I said and they would just move on with the rest of their lives and say, oh, let's just bring in more trucks to piss this motherfucker off. You know, they don't give a shit about me. They don't give a shit about how I feel about this company being here. I've told them multiple times, move it somewhere else. I told them to move it to the outskirts of fucking town, where it should be, where you're not pissing off people. The reason why they're not getting very many complaints is because all their people live over there. There's very little people living over here. Okay? Very little. And there's already one guy that doesn't even give a fuck about it. The other people live further down there, so they ain't hearing half the damn racket. The only ones that hear all the fucking racket would be me and the guy behind me. You know? So they think, well, it's only just 2 people. 1 or 2 people complaining. Who cares? Well, you're going to care when, you know, when people start coming after you and, you know, complaining or even taking you to court over it. I mean, I got enough video evidence to fucking prove that these truckers have been doing nothing. They've been doing shit wrong ever since day one. You know? I mean, what more do you need for evidence to prove that, hey, these fuckers are doing something wrong? You know? I mean, if there was no laws in this town, like, or even in this country, these people would run you out because they want everything to themselves. You can see how it is now because they're buying everyone's property. They either bought this guy's property or they're renting it from him. I know they're renting it from the ex-mayor, but I don't know about, you know, about this guy here next to me. Okay. They might have bought it from him. If they did, well, then it's legal. But, it, you know, I mean, it's illegal if you're renting it too. But did you ever think that too, that there's another house beside it and we don't want to look at this? I mean, this is stupid. I don't want to look at trucks all fucking day long. You know, it's just stupid. This is supposed to be a small, quiet little town, and this has turned into a major clusterfuck because all they care about is making money. So, I mean, if we have to deal with this bullshit, I think we ought to be getting fucking paid from them then. We ought to be getting $1,000 a week then to have to put up with their bullshit. You know? But no, we just have to put up with it. And when something goes wrong, you're supposed to call. Well, calling never really ever does any fucking good because the last time I called about a trucker being here after hours, no one showed the fuck up. No one showed up. They don't give a fuck. That's the thing. They don't care. I called them. Said, hey, trucker here. Tell them to get lost. Okay, we're going to send someone out as soon as possible. Yeah, it ended up being never. Because the last time I had called to report a truck being here after hours, I had told that lady or whatever to do something about it. And she said, okay, well, I'll send my husband out and he'll take care of it. Okay, well, you know what? I looked out my window. Because he was parked right over here in front of this guy's yard. So I looked out my window. I looked at the clock. Okay, 5 minutes later. Figured, well, it'll probably take him 5-10 minutes maybe to get ready. He's got to probably get, you know, the proper clothes on. So, okay, so I figured 10 minutes maybe at the most. Looked at my clock later, you know, at my clock a few minutes later, still nothing. And then I looked half an hour later, nothing. An hour later, still nothing. So I knew that the motherfucker wasn't going to come and take a look. That's just all talk but no show. You know. But it's just, this is getting out of control. You know. So they should just have some respect for people and move it to the outskirts of town. It ain't gonna be that fucking hard. It ain't gonna be that hard at all. But apparently, since it's part of their company property, now they don't have to move. Well, maybe you ought to consider moving because you're being a nuisance towards people. You know, the truckers. You know, the truckers are being a nuisance to homeowners. You know, we don't. I don't know how many fucking trucks I heard coming to town today. I must have heard at least 10. Some were coming in empty. Some of them were coming in loaded. And then what's funny is that they got another. It's probably the same fucking company over on the North Dakota side, and they have trucks too, cars and trucks, same as what's going on over here. Okay, do it over there then, just do it all over there, because people over there are used to trucks because there's a fucking truck stop there, so they're used to that. You know, we don't need to hear that shit. You know, and did you happen to know too that well, there's that little highway there or whatever, that it's a bend, and there's a little piece of field there that the old timer used to cut. Well, the younger guy's doing it now, but that really isn't even worth cutting. I mean, you get probably 4 or 5 fucking bales out of it. It's a fairly good sized lot, but it's not big enough worth of hay because the hay's kind of short on it. So, and it's for sale. I mean, it's been for sale for the last freaking 20 years probably. So why aren't they buying it then? Why don't you buy it and take your fucking cars over there? Quit bringing them over here in town. It's stupid. You know? And then they have some truckers, they'll drop cars off over there in North Dakota. Well, then they'll drive them here. Okay, whatever. Why don't you just park them over there and fucking leave? Why don't you just take every damn single vehicle, buy that chunk of land that's over there for sale, and park them there? It ain't that fucking hard to do, man. It ain't that hard to do at all. This here is just a freaking nuisance for me, and probably for my neighbor. You know. And then it's freaking tearing up the damn roads. Nobody gives a fuck about the roads. They hardly ever get maintained. You know. And then my sod gets tore up in the process. Who bothers to fix that? Nobody. I'm stuck fixing it. It's not my fault that the motherfucker drove in my yard. The trucker should be the one either fixing it, or it should be the owner of the company, you know, to fix it. Why do I have to go burn, you know, time and gas to go get more dirt to fill in their ruts? I shouldn't have to. You know, I don't give a fuck if your damn GPS is telling you to turn down this fucking road. Maybe if you would look at the road and realize that, hey, it's a little bit narrow for my rig, and there's private property on both sides, I shouldn't be going down this fucking road. You shouldn't believe your GPS. Especially if you would look at something and then go back to your GPS. If your GPS is telling you to turn on this road, you should maybe stop your fucking truck and then either look at the damn road and realize that, hey, my fat ass isn't going to fit down here. You know, without tearing up someone's freaking sod. Well, you don't want to get sued tearing up someone's fucking sod. So, maybe you should think about that a little bit, you know? Instead of fucking up my yard. You know, it's so stupid. So, but that's what this letter basically says here anyway, that they're going to have a town meeting about this issue. So there's got to be some other people complaining besides just me. I mean, I don't know who. It's probably just me and the guy behind me, for all the hell I know. I don't know. You know, and another thing too, there's not very many people that go to these town meetings. I know, well, the mayor would probably obviously go. I'm sure of that. And then whoever's on the town thing. I know the guy that lives in the woods, just behind my house here. He lives in those woods. I think he works at the border or something. I don't know, he's a border patrol cop or whatever. But I know what vehicles he drives. And I always see them go to the school. You know. And then I see a few other cars. Well, they're probably just local people. I don't really ever pay attention. I pay attention to the license plates because I could care fucking less. But there's not many people that go to these town meetings. You know. And if there is, well, it's probably something different. I mean, this is something now that's actually caught in my eye and that's making me consider going because I've never gone to these town meetings. You know, because they were always regarding and stuff that I don't give a fuck about. Or they were just, you know, or they were just about things that people planned on doing to upgrade things in town. Like they upgraded the water pump for the town. You know, and then every once in a while they send out letters in the mail or whatever. I think that's from the state though, or the county, saying to, you know, mow your ditches and whatever, keep water out, you know, to keep mosquitoes down. Well, they do fuck all at the school. They hardly ever mow the damn ditch because there's a, well, I can understand if it was wet and full of water, but you could try. I do. At the farmyard, that ditch that I fucking mow that I've been mowing for the last like 10 years probably of my life, I try to mow what I can with the tractor, and then if I can't get it with the tractor, I'll go down there with the trimmer and hit the rest of it. And I'll get as close as I can into the water without actually falling into the water. And then as the water starts to recede, I go and you know, and get the rest of it. Now, I could go buy a pump and pump it out, which is something I've been thinking about doing. You know, something small. You know, I could just pump it. Probably could pump it into the garden. Wouldn't hurt the garden. Well, if the garden's underwater, it's going to fuck that over. But, you know, if it happens to be below that, you could just pump it right into the gardens and water the plants or something. Or you could pump it right over the dike. It ain't going to hurt it anyway. You know, I could pump the ditches out and let the ditch dry for a couple of days and then hit it with the trimmer. Or, well, because the deer ain't going to go down there. It'll still be a sloppy mess, but you can still mow it if you really want to. You know, I tried to do what I can to that ditch. These fuckers here don't do anything. I mean, and then that piece of yard over there next to the school, they let that go all summer. They didn't even bother mowing it. By the time they got to mowing it, it was too much for their mowers. They had it, ended up getting something bigger. And then the property next to my sister's old house, they let that go. They were always keeping that mowed. Well, they let it go this year too. So they had to go. There's a guy on the North Dakota side that I think just started a little lawn care company. Because he was actually, the guy was actually mowing the neighbor's property a little bit here, and he was mowing another one here in town too. He finally got a Bobcat with a brush hog on it, and he was mowing these extra lots here. Well, you know that there's tons of people in this town with mowers and big compact, utility tractors. Hit them once in a while. You know, that's what they were doing with the property next to my house too. They were just kind of letting it go. I mean, it was just so stupid. That's not what you want to do because you got mosquitoes breeding in there. The ground's wet. You know, I do what I can to keep mosquitoes away from my property, but there's only so much I can do because the neighboring lots are not taken care of. It's just a clusterfuck full of weeds and water and breeding mosquitoes. So that's why I have to spend, you know, probably almost, you know, what, $2,000 probably. Well, yeah, they were out all, you know, summer long. There's someone new that's been spraying. But get this. They've only been spraying around their school. They don't spray around the rest of our fucking houses. So you know that the fogging is just for them. If you want your property sprayed, you have to pay for it. That's the way it was when this guy fucking did it. Which is stupid. Really, the state should be paying for that. It really shouldn't be coming out of the town pocket or even our pockets. The state should be paying for that. They're the ones that seem to want to have control on everyone and everything. Well, do your fucking job then. Keep the mosquitoes under freaking control, you know? But whatever. So. But yeah, so. I don't know. They just need to do something different with this trucking company. They just need to move it somewhere else. That's the bottom line. You know. So. But what are you going to do, right? I mean, they don't listen to you. That's the thing. They don't care about your opinions. You can sit there and you can bitch at them all day, every day, 24/7. They just don't care. They don't care unless you get a lawyer on their ass or something. And I don't want to have to go to that extreme. You know, I'd rather try to work it out, which, you know, we have a little bit. It's come a little bit of a long ways since the beginning of all this bullshit. But the way they're doing it is pathetic. They put these signs up. Okay, well the signs are probably illegal. You know, I mean, if they don't listen to the signs, they're going to get fined. But the thing is that the signs are too far in this guy's yard, and they're too low to the ground. They got to be at least 8 feet off the fucking ground, and as close to the road as humanly possible. And they should be, you know, maybe glow in the dark ones or light up ones or whatever. I don't know. Maybe the light reflects off them and they light up a little bit. I don't know. Most likely, but if they would just do it better, go 8 feet up, or even 10 feet up, whatever, and put it as close to the road as fucking humanly possible. And maybe you should just have a few selected drivers instead of random ones, because at least if you have the same truckers all the time, okay, they'll already know the rules of this town. They'll respect people that way. You know, they'll know not to go down certain roads, you know, because they were already told that. So, but when you get new drivers, they don't know fuck all. They know nothing. Well, their dispatchers should be telling them that, but they don't. So, meaning they can just do whatever the hell they want. Well, maybe they shouldn't hire new drivers. And maybe they should just find maybe 20 good truckers, tell them, you know, get them together, even if it's just live streaming on, you know, some kind of a live streaming website, whatever, there's millions of them out there. Google Plus is a good one, you know. Go on there, live chat with all the truckers, be like, okay, well, if you're coming into this town, you have to follow these certain rules, don't come into town after a certain time, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, do it that way. And just have those 20 truckers, or however many you think you may need. Don't hire newbies, because they don't know how the game works. They don't. They're new to it. They probably know what the game rules are for their town or you know, their state. But if they're out of state, they ain't gonna know. You know, I mean, these truckers are probably coming all the way from fucking California and Texas and New York, and hell, they're probably even coming from Canada. Well, they ain't gonna know Minnesota laws. They're not gonna know our town law. They have to be told that. Well, if you just stick to however many you think you need, just keep them, teach them, show them. Then we probably wouldn't even fucking need signs in our town. We wouldn't need to put fence posts up on our property. We wouldn't have to get this damn town involved. You know, I wouldn't have to be calling up the freaking owner of the company and shoving my foot up her ass, or you know, or their ass, saying, you know, hey, your fucking trucker ran over my property again. Didn't appreciate it once again. You know, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Some companies are like that. They only want a certain amount of truckers, and they want the same ones. They don't want to hire fucking newbies. So maybe they ought to consider that kind of an option. You know. So, but the thing that I don't appreciate is that they're sending in so many truckers at a time that they have nowhere else to park. They were all out of parking space over here. They were out. So this trucker thought, oh, I'll just park in front of this guy's house. Maybe he won't mind. Well, I mind quite a bit. I don't appreciate it because my house shakes. I can hear it. That's the thing. That's the thing that's always pissed me off since day one, since they started this company. You know, the first year that I lived here, it was quiet. I didn't care about the school because I went out to school. And they're really not that loud anyway. The cars come at 7 a.m., they leave at 3. Nothing in between, nothing after. So, you know, I didn't mind the school. I didn't have a problem with the school showing up twice a day, you know, dropping the kids off and picking them up. And the parents coming and getting them, picking them up and dropping them off. I didn't give a fuck about that. Because they were not driving on my property. You know, they weren't sitting here and idling and, you know, and shit like that. They just weren't that loud. Truckers are loud, they're heavy, they tear up roads, you know, they tear up my house, you know. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, the only way I can get out of it is just move. Well, I shouldn't have to move because of some fucking company that has no respect for, a person that's living in their home. I mean, I don't have a problem with truckers. It's more of what they're doing because they're not being told what to do. Don't be fucking driving on my yard. Don't be coming in after hours. And don't be parking in front of my house. The only time you can park in front of my house is if you have some kind of a goddamn emergency, like you're having a heart attack, or you break a drive shaft. Some kind of an emergency. But if you're just going to park there to load, take a piss, eat something, you ain't doing that in front of my house because you're just beating up my house. If I would have, if he would have been so much closer, and he cracked my window, they'd be paying for it. Because if you don't have room for all these fucking trucks, you shouldn't be sending them in town then. You should be telling them to go back to the damn truck stop and sit there and wait 20, 30 minutes. Or wait to see if they see another truck come from this town. They got fucking CB radios, tell them to use them. I got a CB radio on my fucking house. Doesn't go out that far, but it's good enough for right now. So they could be talking to each other, and sometimes they do, even when they're right here in town. Just a few days ago, I heard two truckers, they were talking to each other. The one guy was asking the other guy if he was ready to leave. Okay, well, if you're going to do that, maybe there should be a trucker. If there's a trucker sitting at the truck stop, they should be talking to these guys. They should be talking. To say, okay, well, driver, I'm leaving, so you can come on in town now and take my parking spot. It's just that easy. They got CB radios. They don't have them. Get them. You can get them fucking cheap. Okay? You don't need some damn fancy radio. You need a good antenna, but you don't need a good radio. You just need a damn good antenna. So, but yeah. So that's just what I figured I'd talk to you guys about, is that there's this town meeting thing going on. It's just damn good because fuck, it's right there. So I can just walk my fat ass across the street. I'm not gonna hurt my fat ass much. So maybe I'll try to make it if I can and get my 2 cents in. Even though it ain't gonna matter to anyone, but it's better than nothing, I guess, right? But yeah, so I figured I'd just tell you guys that, that I got this letter in the mail, and you can tell they just printed this off my computer. Which, well, whatever. I'm gonna give a fuck. It's just whatever. So, but maybe they ought to watch my video. Maybe I'll say, hey, go watch my YouTube channel video where I was talking about this. Hey, it's not a half bad idea, right? I don't give a fuck if these motherfuckers know my channel. They probably already know anyway. I honestly could care less. Maybe if they would watch my videos a little bit, maybe they would realize what's going on. Instead of being stuck over there in their little fantasy world, with their head stuck up their butt. Because they don't see half the shit that I do. The only way they see it or hear it or know about it is because I called them and told them about it. Other than that, they don't know fuck. Just saying. So, I guess that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm going to take off. This video is too long. I don't know if my phone will even upload this, but we'll try. And I'll try to see if I can get to this town meeting. Because, someone's got to speak their fucking mind. Because it's stupid. Yeah, there's people gonna be disagreeing with me at the meeting, and I'm sure here on this fucking video. Which, you shouldn't even be disagreeing because you don't even know half the fucking story. So, keep your mouth shut about that. So, and of course the people at the town meeting, they'll be the same way. Well, we don't hear nothing. Do you want me to pull out 4 years worth of videos to show you what's going on around here? I can do it. Got it all saved on a hard drive. Or it's actually on a memory stick. Yeah. I save it all. You never know when it might come in handy, boys. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So, I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you.